Very good morning, dear friends. Uh, Today is 6th August and we are here in the Charlotte. I would again like you to see what's around me in the wonderful nature, the green trees, pine trees. In fact, yesterday we were discussing why the leaves of pines are like that. I'll take it in the next video. You can see such a beautiful surrounding and the blue sky with the clouds. Nature is giving signals every time. We have to get tuned to the transmitter of the nature to feel what it is conveying to us. Today my thought process is about in fact, when I tell about myself, I find myself to be very fearful in some circumstances where the negative thoughts prevent me from doing something good. I feel that fear is that emotion which prevents you from doing something which may be good or which may be bad. For me, I have found fear. My limit of getting fearful is to go to the worst thing which can happen and then come back, which is extremely wrong, and it puts me on the that I'm a pessimist. It's not like that. I would like to, through out of this fearful emotion, I would like to go to the most worst thing, and then I would try to come back. So, but this is my views, and then I would like to speak something on happiness. With me is Mrs Ganjoo. She is into the Nishin Darshan's practice, and I would today like to know about her views on happiness and fear. Can you please speak, Ms. Ganjoo?
So good morning. The fear, what my husband was talking about, that he becomes pessimistic because of this state of mind, fear. So fear is basically one kind of emotion which comes, and this can be controlled, and this can also be changed into some value creating also. So fear can be negative as well as positive also. So negative fear is when it prevents you from doing something good because the negative thoughts comes into your mind, and fear is in a good way when it prevents you to doing wrong things, like for example crossing in red light. If you cross, so you have a fear that you will be fined and you will be caught. So that fear is a positive fear, right? So but the negative fear is which makes you pessimistic, avoids you from doing good things.
Yeah, very good.
Is a negative fear.
Correct.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of fear Mr. Ganjoo is talking about.
So can you tell me, do you find any link between the, let's say, fear and happiness? Happiness is a state of mind. It totally depends upon a person who wants to be happy can be happy, but this requires a lot of practice.
Yes.
I still find myself lacking that practice.
Yes.
Can you tell how can we be happy?
Yes, happiness is actually
and get away from these negative emotions.
Yes, yes. So happiness is of two types: relative happiness and absolute happiness. So when we practice Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism, we practice for going towards the absolute happiness. So let's see what is relative happiness. Relative happiness is when you desire something very big and you get it and you become happy. The other moment, when you go out and something happens in your house and you lose that valuable things, you become very unhappy. So that's the relative happiness. So getting something makes you happy, losing the other thing makes you unhappy. So we practice for a state of mind.
This means that there is a fear element.
Yeah, there is a fear element which actually is connected to the relative happiness, basically the fear of losing something.
So how to get absolute happiness?
So absolute happiness is when you practice this Nichiren Daishonin in Buddhism and you chant Namyoho Renge Kyo.
What is the
So
meaning of
which-
Namyoho Renge Kyo?
The Namyoho Renge Kyo, the meaning is that I dedicate my life to the mystic law of simultaneity of cause and effect. So here the Myoho means the mystic law, Ho is the manifestation of that law, and Renge is the lotus flower, which has both the things together, that is the flowering, the blossoming, as well as the seeds. So cause and simultaneity of cause and effect. So in our life also these two things, they work actually.
Good.
So let's come back to the fear and the relative happiness. So fear of losing. So when you become fear of losing, that means you are attached to that thing. Too much you are attached. So here we have to detach ourselves from that, and that detachment makes you move towards the absolute happiness. The thing is there, it's okay. Even if that thing is not there, the life will move on. It's not that a life will become desperate or life will. So you should know how to change your mind actually. The shifting of the mind, that I want to be the most happiest person. Whether I have or I don't have that thing, it is immaterial. Because everything is, there is impermanency. No, nothing is permanent. Everything has to be there or it has not to be there. So with this thought, we move towards the absolute happiness.
Thank you very much. I think a lot of practice is required to overcome your emotions, master your emotions, control your emotions, and the practice which is advocated by Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism is one of the best spiritual practices. As a body requires, the muscles require some type of practice. You go to gym, and similarly, this is a spiritual practice. Any type of practice, if you practice, that is, you may do any spiritual practice. But I have found that this chanting Namyoho Renge Kyo gives a lot of relief, a lot of solace to me. I feel very light after that. For chanting for about half an hour, like Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo,
Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo, Namyoho Renge Kyo,
Namyoho Renge Kyo, and continuously. There could be so many other psychological reasons that while chanting we get away from our thought process, negative thought process. Correct. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ganjoo. I hope this video is liked by you. We'll be very happy to know more about this, and I'll request all of you to kindly see on the Google and the net Nichiren Daishonin's spiritual practice and get benefited. Life is not just to eat and make money, it's much beyond that. Check your spiritual nature and see how you go to the higher dimensions of happiness, and more you will achieve more excellence in your life, and wish you best of luck. Here I am at Charlotte. God bless you all with every member of your family. Thank you very much.
So let's stand for absolute happiness.
Thank you, Mr.